This is KOCO 5 News at 9 on METV.
We did not get as much rain as expected today here in the metro, but now we need it more than ever. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Folger.
Hi there. Good evening. I'm Jessica Shambach. Thanks for being here on METV. The winds today making conditions worse out there. Meteorologist Jonathan Condor here now to give us the latest details on that fire hazard. Jonathan.
Yeah, we're talking and looking for rain for today, but tomorrow we're going to have a problem with the winds and the humidity and the fire danger. Right now, winds are out of the south and it's humid. Tonight, those winds will turn around the north, will really dry us out, and not a lot showing up on radar right now. First alert Doppler pretty quiet, not much here in OKC, maybe a little bit of drizzle out there. Had a couple thunder showers up near Miami, tracking to the northeast. The big picture here, most of the rain is off to our east over in Arkansas for tonight. Take a look at predictor. Clouds are clearing. They move off to the east. We'll have sunshine tomorrow morning. That's the dry air mixing in. Look at this, fire danger, 2 days of it. Northwestern Oklahoma tomorrow, central Oklahoma on Tuesday. So we got 2 days worth of fire danger. When will we see relief? The updated forecast. You don't want to miss it. Coming up here in about 12 minutes.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. A 4.2 earthquake rattling Enid. We have reports that it was felt up to 100 miles away. Happened a little after 5 o'clock today. If you had any damage, make sure to let us know. Early this morning, Oklahoma City police rushing to the scene of an armed robbery. This was at the Fairfield Inn near Kilpatrick in May. Police say 2 men rushed in with guns, demanded money. Right now, we don't know what they got away with. The front desk clerk hid behind the desk until those suspects left. Thankfully, no one was injured, and police are searching for those suspects.
Also from overnight, a woman is dead. Another rushed to the hospital after a double stabbing. This happened in Chickasha. When police arrived, they arrested the man who they say was responsible. Authorities say the suspect in this case is the stepfather of the surviving victim. Victim's mother, however, was found dead at the scene. Police say the suspect, Jesus Deliria, is now being held at the Grady County Jail.
Take extra care this tax season. Equifax now saying cyber criminals may have stolen more information than previously thought. Thursday, Equifax discovered another 2.4 million Americans who had their names and driver's licenses exposed. The company said it will notify the newly discovered victims and offer free identity theft protection and credit monitoring. The credit monitoring agency previously thought the hackers exposed information on 145 million people, but that total has grown.
President Trump is weighing in on his proposed tariffs again and any potential retaliation. In a tweet, the president said that if the European Union wants to increase their massive tariffs on the U.S., we will apply a tax. He went on to say that it is a big trade imbalance. This week, the president said the U.S. will put a 25% tariff on imported steel and 10% for imported aluminum. That sparked an immediate reaction from investors and U.S. allies. Europe is threatening tariffs on American products like bourbon and blue jeans.
We're going to build our steel industry back, and we're going to build our aluminum industry back.
Trump has not said if he would exempt some countries from the tariffs. His national security advisors have urged him to do so to avoid hurting key U.S. allies. President Trump says he plans to implement this policy this week.
The Florida Senate could debate a sweeping school safety bill as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, in a rare session, they argued over several measures, including arming teachers and an assault on rifles. The assault rifle ban failed.
We have to start somewhere, and we have to take seriously, more seriously than ever before, the issue of security in our schools and safety in our schools. And this bill really is unprecedented.
What you can say about all of them is they had an AR-15. And so we can do a lot of things, but you know, this is kind of the one thing that's consistent.
Florida Senate voted to move forward with the proposal that would allow trained teachers to be armed. The proposal would also include raising the age limit to buy rifles to 21, create a 3-day waiting period on buying rifles, and take a closer look at mental health issues.
The state of Florida held a moment of silence to remember the victims of the school shooting in Parkland. Governor Rick Scott announcing a moment of silence would be held, marking 17 days since 17 students and faculty members were killed. He also proclaimed February 14th as Stoneman Douglas High School Remembrance Day there in the state of Florida.
Now, in the wake of the Florida shooting and several others, concerns grow nationwide over school safety. A South Carolina company says it has an idea that could help. R2P Innovations in South Carolina unveiled a bulletproof door. The company president says the door is designed specifically for U.S. classrooms. During Friday's test, the door stopped bullets from high-powered weapons, including an AR-15, a shotgun, and a 9mm pistol. The company says it can produce about 10,000 doors a month, depending on demand.
Delta Airlines says it lost a major tax break over an NRA discount used by only 13 people. Delta scrapped the offer following the deadly school shooting in Parkland. The move angered some Republicans in Georgia who took out a fuel exemption for Delta from a tax bill signed on Friday. It means the airline will have to pay tens of millions of dollars in extra fuel costs.
Our state's health department battling a financial scandal. It has another problem: untested rape kits. There's a backlog of more than 6,000 of them. KOCO's Maggie Carlo spoke with an activist hoping to change that.
Right now, there are more than 6,500 untested rape kits in Oklahoma, and a new task force is looking at how to fix that problem and prevent it from happening in the future.
Many people don't know, as a survivor, as a rape victim, I did everything right, and I still did not get justice. My justice today is my voice. It's changing laws.
Danielle Tudor is a rape survivor who helped change 6 laws in Oregon. And now that she lives in Oklahoma, she's part of Governor Fallon's Rape Kit Backlog Task Force.
I think part of the problem is law enforcement has never really decided which ones to test and which ones not to test.
In addition to the work of the task force, there's also House Bill 2929 that would mandate the testing of future rape kits.
It also gives survivors a few more rights to actually know about the rape kit, what's happening with it, and what the results are, and actually get a copy of their police report, which really shocks a lot of people when they hear that, but that is not normal standard procedure to even get a copy of your police report. It also mandates that law enforcement test all kits of unknown offenders to the victim.
Maggie Carlo, KOCO 5 News.
A teen boy charged as an adult, now his first-degree murder case, may be retried in juvenile court. What his psychologist says about him and his regrets about what they say he did.
And a traffic alert: a section of I-235 has been closed all weekend. Tomorrow it will open again for your commute. What closures, though, you need to know about for next weekend. And KOCO and Quail Creek Bank want to help out Oklahoma teachers. They could get $1,000. Here's how to enter. Go to KOCO.com, nominate a teacher. Each month we'll choose one teacher to receive $1,000 for their project on DonorsChoose.org. Want to update a story that we've been following for months now.
A 14-year-old boy killed a 10-year-old boy with a crossbow. He's now being considered for juvenile court. His psychologist is saying that the teen can be rehabilitated. That death happened last fall in Lincoln County. He was charged with first-degree murder as an adult, the youngest in Oklahoma. The teen is now saying he wishes to trade places with his victim. A first alert traffic update. Part of I-235 remains closed tonight, but it will reopen tomorrow morning for the morning commute. Crews are preparing the 50th Street Bridge. That's the section of road between 36th and I-44. It will close again next weekend. The Secret Service is trying to figure out what prompted a man to shoot and kill himself outside the White House gates. This happened yesterday morning, just outside the north fence of the building. The man did not get onto the grounds, but police locked the area down. Police have not released his name. President Trump was not there at the time.
A mysterious death of a bookstore owner left his family with more questions than answers. What new information they hope comes to light during tomorrow's trial.
The rain moves out, but the dry winds move in. Fire dangers at extreme levels. Which days will be the worst?
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 9 on METV with Jessica Shambaugh, Paul Folger, and Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane.
Welcome back. Residents along the eastern seaboard digging out from an onslaught of water and wind, trying to recover from a powerful two-day nor'easter.
Right now, many are still without power. 8 people died from falling trees. ABC's Elizabeth Hur reports.
The two-day monster nor'easter slamming the eastern seaboard from Georgia all the way up to Maine, causing widespread flooding. ABC's Gio Benitez witnessing the water's force.
It's just about 12 noon here in Quincy, Massachusetts. That means it's high tide. And just take a look at the incredible force of the storm system, even as it leaves the area.
The powerful storm leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. One of the victims just 6 years old.
The tree is pinned to a bunk bed.
Anthony Hamilton was asleep on the top bunk when a tree crashed through his family's home.
It was just a freak accident in the middle of the night that took the baby from us.
More than 1 million homes still without electricity, with power lines down everywhere, including this mess in Watertown, Massachusetts. The storm also proving to be a nightmare for travelers. So far, more than 4,000 flights have been canceled and around 7,000 delayed. Trains between Washington, D.C. and Boston completely shut down for a while, with only limited service now restored. Out west, another winter storm dropped 4 feet of snow on the Sierra Nevada, triggering avalanches, one crashing down on 5 people near Lake Tahoe.
We feel incredibly lucky, super stoked to be alive.
Meanwhile, in a different avalanche in Squaw Valley, a snowboarder was killed. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Now, your first alert forecast, certified most accurate.
Say goodbye to the humidity and say hello to very dry and windy conditions. Not good at all. We got to talk about the fire danger for the next couple days, because I believe it's going to be the worst fire danger we have seen so far this season. Didn't get a lot of rain, just a trace at Will Rogers World Airport. Now, on the north side of the metro, up near Guthrie, they had a few rumbles of thunder earlier, but those moved out. We're dry right now. Don't expect any more rain for it tonight. It's all moving to the east. It's moving where they've had so much rain over in Arkansas. It's moving away from us. On the backside of the storm system, winds are going to turn around and come out of the north. That's going to be a dry wind for us. It will erode away the clouds. This is predictor. That's 7 in the morning. Eastern Oklahoma clouds, but OKC clearing on out. Boy, it looked like it wanted to rain today. It smelled like it wanted to rain today. And all that humidity just kind of went to waste. It's just kind of cloudy out there right now. Overcast. Right now, winds, again, it's a south wind right now. You'll know when they turn around come tomorrow morning, but right now they're south-southeast gusting about 26, 57 degrees, 55 up in Chandler, 61 over in El Reno. We have Alva at 64 and then 64 over in Hobart. So by tomorrow morning, low temperatures, some 50s and 40s. The panhandle will be in the 30s. Those winds turn around to the northwest. Hour by hour tomorrow looking good, right? All that sunshine. We're in the 50s by 55 by the time you're having your coffee break there. But it's going to be windy all day long. The winds will not relax. They're going to be pegged, like sustained, right about 25 miles an hour. Gusts will be higher than that. Despite that northwest wind, we're going to be a little bit above average, highs in the lower 60s. Now let's talk about those winds for Monday. These are the wind gusts, the zone. Strongest gusts northwest at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. Yeah, did I get your attention there? I sure did. In the blue, that's about 30 to 40. So you got to factor in the dry air and the strong winds. This is where the fire danger will be the worst for tomorrow. Now, central Oklahoma, you still have pretty significant fire danger, but this is what we call red flag fire warning. Do not burn. If you live in one of those counties, and I would suggest anyone in Oklahoma, do not burn for tomorrow. Conditions are just way too dangerous. Now, watch what happens. I'm going to change the map here. We're going to go to Tuesday. Winds get a little bit stronger across north central Oklahoma, and that 40 to 50 mile per hour gust zone kind of drops to the south. So the fire danger with the humidity getting lower gets worse. So for day 2, we now have a fire weather watch. This is typically issued the day before, so it's issued, today and tomorrow for Tuesday. These counties, when you're looking at it, these counties will turn to red, to that red flag fire warning. That means a larger area of a fire threat. Again, Tuesday is going to be the worst day out of the next 5 days. Is there any relief coming? No. Look at this for OKC, no rain chances for the next 5 days. What about the winds? Do we get any relief with the winds? A little bit. So the winds are strong next 2 days. Finally, Wednesday, Thursday, firefighters, you'll get some relief. Winds, they go right back up for the weekend. So that's not good. They'll be dealing with a little bit of fire danger there. Temperature's not bad. 60s down to 52 Wednesday, 72 Friday. Saturday, there's a chance of storms. Sunday, you know what Sunday is? It's a cold front. It's also daylight saving time starts Sunday morning. We spring ahead 1 hour, so it's lighter out later. And then instead of springing ahead into spring-like temperatures, we're just kind of hanging out in the 50s, which is a little bit below average, but it could be a lot worse. It could snow, but it's not going to snow with those temperatures.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No snow, please.
Yeah. No thanks. I mean, spring break will be here before we know it.
Yeah,
so
it will be. Yep.
No snow,
Very
just nice
soon.
temps.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. California residents there breathing a huge sigh of relief after excuse me, Evacuation orders have been lifted after a storm. The storm did not turn out to be as severe as anticipated. This is part of the same country that was hit with a deadly mudslide earlier this year.
Now, the recent storm brought some water, but nothing like the mud and debris that they saw back in January.
We just had such a devastating January that I was afraid the same thing would happen, but I'm very happy to see that it looks good.
Well, the heaviest rainfall came Friday morning. At this hour, the mud has all been cleaned up. Oklahoma City's second streetcar could arrive this week. The city tells us that the streetcars are being built and shipped from Pennsylvania at a rate of one every 3 weeks. First one already here. When it's finished, the route will connect Midtown to the business district in downtown. Service expected to begin later this year.
Tomorrow morning, we are expecting the trial to begin for the bail bondsman accused of shooting and killing her own client last year. Chastity Carey faces first-degree murder charges. Carey told police she called 38-year-old Brandon Williams into her office to tell him she was revoking his bond. She claims they started to fight and she shot him in self-defense, but prosecutors say evidence from the scene does not support that.
The mysterious death of a bookstore owner leaves a family searching for answers and for justice. We're hopeful to learn more tomorrow at a hearing for Kenton Busby. Prosecutors say he stabbed Kelly Hayes to death inside his bookstore 30 Penn last fall, then set the store on fire. Busby was arrested just a couple of weeks later after police released surveillance footage from the scene. No motive has been given. Busby faces charges of first-degree murder and first-degree arson.
Tuesday, Senate District 51 heads to the polls to select a state senator. Brad Bowles and Charles Murdoch are seeking to replace Republican Scott Biggs, who took a job in the federal government. District 51 includes Chickasha.
Police in New Mexico had a car chase they did not expect. Why a 16-year-old girl, what she did to get arrested and what she did when the cops weren't looking.
This morning, the Alaskan Iditarod dog sled race kicked off.
67 dog sled teams held a ceremonial start in downtown Anchorage. The Iditarod has been a tradition for 46 years. The race follows a traditional mail and supply route stretching almost 1,000 miles across Alaska. It takes dogs and mushers more than 8 full days to reach the finish line. Cherry blossom lovers in the Washington, D.C. area may get their fix early this year. The National Park Service says they expect blooms to peak for the capital's iconic cherry trees a few weeks earlier than normal. They usually peak during the first few days of April.
A 16-year-old girl is in big trouble for driving off in a police car drunk.
I'm just here to try to help you out, okay?
Take me to jail if you want to help me.
Why do you want to go to jail?
My boyfriend's there.
My boyfriend is there. Really. Police in New Mexico found this girl drunk on the side of the road. They put her in the back seat of their car while they talked to her mother. The girl got tired of waiting. She jumped in the front seat and took off. She hit 2 cars before she ended up in the ditch. Look at that. There she goes. She was in the hospital. Nobody else was hurt. Officers say they did not handcuff her because she was not violent.
Actor David Stiers has passed away, probably best known for his role on MASH.